Welcome, friend. I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. Thank you for joining us for Chakra Yoga. What we have in mind today is a yin yoga sequence themed around the heart chakra. We'll open up with a metta loving kindness meditation and we'll close with a yogic three-part breath. What I think you'll need to be safe, to enjoy, and to get the most out of your practice. Um, a yoga mat, you could also just do this on a carpeted surface, would work just fine. I like a blanket over my mat. My old hips like a little bit of cushioning between myself and the earth. It's not strictly necessary. A bolster for today isn't strictly necessary, but if you're used to practicing with it and it would be useful, I think it's always a great tool. What I would like for you to have are two foam or cork yoga blocks. And if you have the choice, one of the things that we're going to be doing with this is a subscapularis release. A softer block might be a little bit more comfortable in the shoulder. If you have cork block or really dense, compacted foam block, you might choose an extra blanket so you can pad that up a little bit. And as always, if you like the service, if you enjoy it, I would encourage you to like the video, subscribe to Transformation Nation Yoga on YouTube, and share this with a friend. So pause your recording, roll out your mat, gather up your props, and when you're ready, press play, and I'll meet you on your mat for Chakra Yoga. All right, find a comfortable seat with a long spine. So our practice this morning is going to be yin practice themed around the heart chakra. We're going to open up with a meditation, but in rereading Anna Deo Judas chapters in the heart chakra this week, reminded me, it didn't stick out the first few times that I read these chapters, how tied the breath is in with heart chakra opening. If you think about the purpose of the heart as an organ with a circulatory system, disseminating oxygenated blood throughout the body, that makes some sense. So the reason I say that is we're going to close with a breath practice. So again, find that long spine. So that sensation of pressing into the seat and lifting out of the heart and the crown of the head for the stars. And let's take a cleansing breath. So taking a nice, deep, life-affirming breath through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go with a ah. And then if it feels safe and comfortable for you, close down your eyes. And I'll give you instructions for a meditation. So this will be a metta meditation. And over the course of the metta meditation, I'll ask you to bring to your mind an image of people that fit three different categories. In the first, someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill come very, very easily. So not a complicated relationship. So maybe a beloved pet or a grandparent or a nephew or niece. In the second, someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill are neutral. So this could be someone you see quite often but don't actually know who you are. You haven't met them yet. And the last is someone with whom that relationship is challenged and your feelings of kindness and goodwill for them are compromised. So it could be a colleague with whom we have an adversarial relationship, but for many of us, that's probably going to be a family member. And for each of these people, I'll ask you to hold that image lightly in your mind, hold it lightly in your heart, and then we will breathe to them 3 to 4 times for wishes of goodwill. So let's start where it tends to come more easily. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill come very easily. And the first 2 times I'll cue for both the breath and the intention, and after that it'll just be intention. Hold that image of that person lightly in your mind. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, happy. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, healthy. Inhale, may you be exhale, safe. Inhale, may you know. Exhale, peace. Taking a deep, deep breath through your nose and then sigh it out your mouth. Ah. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill come very easily. Maybe the same being as last time, maybe someone completely different. But hold that image in your mind. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, happy. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, healthy. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, safe. Inhale, may you know. Exhale, peace. Drawing a deep, deep breath. And then let that breath go. Ah. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill are quite neutral. Hold that image in your mind. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Draw a deep, deep breath through your nose. And then sigh that breath out. Ah. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill are neutral. Hold that image in your mind. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Draw a deep breath and then let that breath go. where we're going here, if it would be helpful for you to have the support of one or both hands on your heart, please feel free to give yourself that grace. And then bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill are challenged. Gently, lightly hold that image in your heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Taking a deep, deep breath through your nose. Exhale through your mouth with that ha. Bring to your mind an image of yourself. Gently, gently hold that image in your mind, in your heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Draw a deep breath. And then let that breath go. Gently blink your eyes open. Roll over your crossed ankles. Come down onto your belly. Find a Sphinx pose. With probably with one block at the highest setting between your wrists. Set your shoulders up so they're floating over your elbows. Lengthen your legs along. Relax the whole lower body. Relax your belly. Right away, relax the belly. Relax the arms. And if it's helpful for relaxing the arms, flip your palms skyward. Maybe even release your forehead down to a block. One of the purposes of the heart chakra is about finding a state of equilibrium. We don't want to be too focused on the self. If we want to be healthy and balanced, if we want to be healthy and balanced with the heart chakra, we don't like what we don't want to optimize for being too focused on the self. We also don't want to be too focused on the other. So Dr. Brene Brown describes this as boundaries, and she says that kind people are boundaried people. Which is interesting, right? It's maybe not what I would have expected. when I started out on a path toward consciousness. And this path, I think, will be, for me, will be a lifelong journey. I'm not sure that's a destination I'll arrive. And there are days where I don't feel like I'm very far along that path. But I think I would have pictured that, like, what we're really looking for is to fully give and open to the other. But without boundaries and without maintaining ourselves, then we fall out of balance there too. Then the heart chakra is too open, which means I feel like acts like what we're doing today, prioritizing self-care, this act of true self-love, is a beautiful tool for helping us to balance and focus on ourselves, on taking care of and attending to ourselves. Check in with your body. Notice your current level of sensation. Not a thing wrong with where you are, but if you want more sensation, you can lift your forehead up off your blocks, turn the palms out, press into the heels of the hands until the elbows lift. Maybe even walk the heels of your hands closer in towards your shoulders. I also would argue that giving too much to the other eventually, in almost every case that I've experienced anyway, tends to lead toward resentment, and resentment leads toward eventual disconnection. Maybe not ending the relationship, but just disengaging. And that's painful for both parties. This is Brene Brown. Again, this is a quote. Dr. Brown writes, "We are hardwired to connect with others. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives, and without it, there is suffering." So we need that connection with others, but without that connection with ourselves, we cannot get there. Notice if you've got any gripping, any muscular engagement. See if you can let that go. And if you transition from Sphinx into Seal, come back into Sphinx, slide the block out of the way, and then lower your heart down to the earth. Now, two options. You can tee your left arm out to the side, or I'm a little limited in space, so I'm going to goalpost the arm. Rest your left temple on the mat. Place your right hand under your right elbow, so close to your right shoulder. And then press into your right hand, come up into a broken wing shape, floating the whole right side of your body over your left. Maybe even putting a bend in that right leg and stepping your right foot back behind your right knee. Maybe walk that left elbow a little further away from the left shoulder, or If you teed out that left arm, you could just walk the fingers of your left hand further away from the right shoulder. And only if your body wants more sensation, what I would do is probably put a block at any height under that right hand. One option is to wrap your right arm behind your lower back. That's not wrong, and that's how I used to practice and cue this. But I just found that a hand on a block gives me more sensation. If that's the goal, for my body anyway, I feel like that's a better path. If you placed anything under your right hand, if you lifted the right hand, bring the heel of your right hand back down to the ground, start rolling back onto your belly. Maybe take a moment in center and just rock the hips back and forth from side to side. And then we're going to change sides. So tee your right arm or goalpost your right arm out to the side. Draw your left hand under your left shoulder, rest your right temple on the earth. Start pressing into your left hand rather. Float the whole left side of your body over your right. Only if your body wants more sensation here. Either walk either the fingers or the fingers of the right hand or your right elbow further away from your right shoulder. Maybe lift your left hand up onto a block, or again, that option of a half bind behind the back, it is there. That's an option. Turn your left hand back to the earth, roll back down onto your belly. Maybe take a moment in center again, rock your hips back from side to side. And then find any resting position. Could be on your seat, your belly, your back, or your side. From your resting position, start to lift yourself up. Come into a seated position. So whatever seat you choose, like your pelvis tipping slightly forward. So for me, that means a seat on a block. And we're going to find a variation of square pose. So bring your left shin parallel with the top edge of your mat, and then hook the pinky edge blade of your right foot on the outside of your left thigh, just on the outside and top. You could place a block or a blanket under that right knee, and then lift your right hand up in the air, drop it in between your shoulder blades, maybe left hand to left elbow. And I've lost my block, I just need to readjust here. So it may take some time to settle in this first iteration here. And I don't know about for your body, friends. For me, this is the end of the road for this right here. If you like, you could take the back of your left hand to your lower back, start walking it back up and catching the fingers. But that's not going to happen with my shoulders this morning. Begin to release that right elbow. And release your arms. Release your legs into just a regular cross-legged seat, something that's fairly comfortable. And then take both forearms so they're parallel to the earth. Both palms face the earth to start. Flip your left palm up toward the stars, and then close and release tight fists as fast as you can, at least 15 times. And then come to a pause, change. Right palm faces the stars, left palm faces the earth. Same thing. Close and release tight fists as fast as you can, at least 15 times. And you might close your eyes down for this. Straighten the hands out again, and then bring the palms of your hands together 6 to 8 inches apart, right in front of your chest. So thumbs maybe 2 inches from the chest. And I'd like you to feel for a tangible sense of energy flowing in between the hands. Maybe start drawing the palms of the hands closer together, particularly if you're feeling nothing. You can gently blink your eyes open, set up for the other side. Right shin parallel to the earth. Hook that pinky edge blade of your left foot on the outside of your right thigh. Drop your left hand in between your shoulder blades. Maybe catch your left elbow with your right hand. I'd say this on the other side. It's not a very yin-like instruction. But sometimes here I like to press the back of my head into that back arm, in this case the left arm. It gives me a little more sense of opening. Heart chakra closes down for it can close down for lots of reasons. We can choose to close it down. And I feel like more than any other chakra, the heart chakra responds to conscious choices and decisions to open or close. But like if we're in an environment where there's constant criticism, right, that tends to shut us down. And we don't feel valued and loved, that tends to shut us down. Now, how do you know? For me, like I feel like I have certain emotions that I associate with being closed down in my heart. When I feel really defensive, like people say things, I don't know if you've had this experience, but when people say things that are fairly innocuous, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. And what I go to right away is, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Um, or I can't believe that this person just said this to me, right? When there are lots and lots of other explanations for what they may have just said, and they may not have meant anything like the way that I interpreted that. I wrote this in a journal when I was a young man. I see the countenances of my enemies even in the faces of my friends. Right? When I'm in that kind of headspace, that's a pretty good indication that my heart is closed off. So breath is a great tool for reopening. So is moving the body. Any kind of action where we're opening the heart forward. So any pose from the warrior series. Or I like a heart bench or a supported fish pose. You can start to release that left elbow, release the arm, shake out the arms, unwind your legs, and then make your way into your right side. Grab a block and find a side forearm plank. Your right shoulder floating over your right elbow. Take your block at a medium height, tuck it under the armpit, and then bring your left hand down to the mat. Walk your right elbow further away from the body such that you can release your right temple into your right hand, maybe. Now, depending on the sensitivity of your lymph nodes, if that hurts, if it doesn't feel good, pad up your block, or left hand is the volume knob on the sensation. So you can press it down into the mat or your block to lift up a little bit. So this, like, it's not a super comfortable pose in some bodies, but it shouldn't, like, I'm not intentionally looking for discomfort here, like I might in say, a serratus anterior trigger point release. We're just trying to release the subscapularis here, one of the four muscles in the complex of muscles that make up the shoulder's rotator cuff. Part of what I would consider to be the anatomy of the heart chakra. So I would think of the front, the back of the heart. So the pectoral muscles, the rhomboids, mid and upper trapezius, but also the shoulders and the arms, hands as well. And I think it's hard, like I was talking a moment ago about how do I know when my heart chakra is closed off, when I'm closed off in the heart? There's, I think there's lots of different ways of noticing it. Those are some of the ones for me when I find myself in a really defensive space where I'm struggling to trust. And it doesn't feel good. It feels disconnected and closed off. But I think, and I don't always see it in the moment, but I think with practice, I feel like it's gotten easier for me to notice, okay, I've got something going on here that I think probably has more to do with me than it has to do with other people. The process of opening. Resentment is like that for me too. When I go into resentment and I'm deep in resentment. And so sometimes I do this little forgiveness exercise. It probably sounds silly, and it's not. I think we think of forgiveness as this permanent sweeping choice that we make, that we forgive this person and we forgive ourselves, and then it never comes up again. And that's just not been my experience. And for certain incidents and seasons of my life, I just have to come back to these things a lot. But when I get caught up in that headspace, that person, like I had something come up at work a couple of years ago, March 2020, and I can find myself sometimes starting to fan the flames. My heart closes off and getting irritated all over again. And I have to bring to my mind the image of those people and just tell them, I forgive you. I forgive you. This is done now. Let's move on. And among the people in that population that I have to forgive always has to be me as well. And I forgive you too, Chris, for your role in this. All right, you could stay right here. Or to change the sensation up a little bit, drop your right hand down to the mat. Place your left hand on the back of your right hand, and then release your forehead down onto the back of your left hand. All right, lift your forehead up. Your left hand onto your shoulder. Come back up onto your right forearm. Remove your block. Lower down, roll over onto the other side. Same pose, fashion model. Tuck your block under your left armpit. Walk your left elbow further out away from your body. See if you can relax everything. Once we're set up here, I feel like there's really no muscular engagement. It should be the structure of the block that's doing most of the work for us here. Stay right here or release your left hand down to the mat. Right hand over your left. Release your forehead down onto the back of your right hand. Lift your forehead up. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Lift up enough to remove your block. And then lower back down onto your left side. For now, reach your left arm up over your head. Put a big, big bend in your knees. Draw your knees towards your chest. Float the fingers of your left hand up toward the stars. And then turn the palm of your left hand behind you. Drop the back. I may have said your left hand. This is my right hand. Drop your right hand, the back of your right hand to your lower back. Start lowering your right shoulder down to the earth. Thread your left hand between your right. And then maybe start to slide the back of your right hand higher up your spinal column. The higher up the spine you go, the more sensation you'll get in the shoulder. And the lower that right shoulder comes to the earth, the more you'll get into the twist. If you want more sensation here, slide the back of your right hand higher up your spinal column. One more option for the twist. You could straighten your right leg and let gravity draw that big toe edge blade of your right foot any amount closer to the earth. So if you straighten that right leg, put a bend in your right knee, start sliding the back of your right hand back down to your lower back, and then lift your right shoulder, float it over your left. Maybe release your right arm out your side. Straighten your legs, and then roll over onto the other side. Again, maybe with your right arm up over your head to start. Put that big bend in your legs again. Float the fingers of your left hand up toward the heavens. Turn the palm of your left hand behind you, and then drop the back of your left hand to your lower back as you roll your left shoulder back toward the earth behind you. Ooh, and that is a lot in my shoulder already. So if that pushes you out of our threshold between discomfort and pain, if it pushes into pain, you could also release that left hand to your hip. I mentioned early in the practice about Anadeo Judas mention that breathing is a great way to open the heart chakra. And I think I've got these measurements right, but the lung capacity of the average human lung is something like 2 pints. And it's thought, research indicates that most of us, most of the time, on an inhale, are only bringing in about a pint of air. So in the last pose in our practice, it's a little bit of an unconventional place to do breath work, but we're going to really consciously and intentionally fill the lungs to capacity while we're in that pose. So think about the anatomy of breathing and then maybe correspond that with the anatomy of the heart chakra. There's some overlap there. Diaphragm, lungs, and then the accessory muscles in the upper body, things like the collarbones and the shoulders. So we're going to try to engage all of those. All right, option to slide the back of your left hand any amount up the spinal column. I'm done there. I'm not doing anything different with that left shoulder. Or straighten that left leg, or release your left shoulder, fold your left shoulder closer to the earth behind you. Put a bend back in your left leg. Slide the back of your left hand back down to your lower back. Lift your left shoulder up, float it over your right, and then lengthen out your legs. Make your way out to your back. And if you would have 2 blocks within easy reach, slide your heels in close to your seat. We're going to do a restorative bridge. So you could do this on 1 block. And I'd encourage you to find lots of surface areas. So sometimes we do this at the highest height on the block. That may be okay for you. It doesn't feel great for me. Check in with your body with 1 block. If you have space, lift up, place a second block under your lower back, and then reach your arms up over your head. Palms face the sky. Relax your arms as much as you can. Relax your legs too. No need to press down into or engage the soles of the feet into the earth. And I'd like you to start to focus each breath on filling your belly with breath. And each exhale, focus on emptying the belly completely. Now we're going to build on that. As you inhale, fill the belly first. And then keep inhaling, fill the chest. And as you exhale, deflate the chest first. And then the belly. Inhale, fill the belly. Fill the chest. Exhale, reverse the order. Maintain that pattern for now. Okay, we're going to build on that and try to make the breath even bigger. So your next inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest, and fill up until you, like, as if you could breathe into your collarbones and shoulders. Maybe feel the muscles in your upper chest lift. And then exhale, upper chest, deflate the chest, deflate the belly. Inhale, belly, chest, upper chest, collarbones, and shoulders. And then reverse the order as you exhale. Maintain this pattern. Come back to a more natural breath. And then find your way into any final resting shape. So again, it can be on your seat, your belly, your back, your side. It could be right here. Restorative bridge could be your final resting shape. But find a final resting shape that allows you to balance relaxation with alertness. Start to draw some deeper breaths again. And then if it serves you, you could choose to begin to reanimate your body with movement. Maybe starting small. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe something with the neck, maybe drawing your chin from shoulder to shoulder. And you could, if you like, start to add some medium-sized movements, maybe rotating your hands at the wrists, your feet at the ankles. And with no rush at all, but anytime if your body calls for it, you can transition to large movements. It could look like anything. It could be a full body stretch. If you're on your back, it could mean sliding your heels in towards your seat with a bend in your knees and then dropping your knees from side to side, windshield wipering your legs. But eventually make your way onto either side, your right or your left side. And from there, take a few moments, take 3 or 4 breaths, check in with how you're feeling. Think again about the anatomy of the heart chakra, front and back of the heart, shoulders, arms, hands. Just feel for any space or openness if you created some. If you didn't, that's okay. It's just skillful to notice. And maybe check in with the emotional quality of your heart as well and feel for openness there as well. And press yourself up into any comfortable seated position with any soft eyes, doing anything that you like with your hands. Thank you, dear friend, for moving and breathing with me. Thank you for your trust and guiding you through your practice. May you walk through the world with an open heart. If you move to do so, draw your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows. Blessings to you and your family. And that concludes our practice for today. Great job, friend. Again, I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. Thank you for joining us for Chakra Yoga. Again, please, if you enjoyed the service, we would appreciate it if you would like the video, if you would subscribe to Transformation Nation Yoga on YouTube, and share this with a friend who you think may benefit. You're doing great. Keep going.